Hello everyone. So this video, it's basically going to be about essentially like what I'm working on for my character Wezzly The Talking Cat, like really everything that's going to be happening in the future, or like what I imagine to happen or what I am doing. Yeah, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the LIXANS Tapes, which is my analog horror for the character, Wezzly The Talking Cat. And it's basically just like the story and the lore just told in analog horror form. The first episode is out right now. I don't know if I'll remember to do this, but I'll probably put it in the corner right now, so you can just watch it if you want. It took me and my friend, Hilton Graph Film Corporation, or Ray, a lot of time and effort to make it. So I'm gonna be working on that a lot. Scripting episodes, storyboarding, animating, hopefully getting some help and stuff from other creators that I know personally. No random people, mostly like my friends and stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be working on that a lot. It's probably like one of my main focuses right now is the LIXANS Tapes. Speaking of the LIXANS Tapes, I wanted to talk about the lost files of the Wezzly Tapes, or TLFOTWT, but it's basically like the old analog horror. It's basically the LIXANS Tapes but bad. Yeah, so me and one of my friends was working on it, and it didn't go very well. Nothing with my friend or anything. It wasn't that scary. It felt kind of rushed. It felt kind of fast paced, and it didn't really tell the story very well. So the LIXANS Tapes is basically going to be that, but better. And it's basically just going to remaster everything. It's not going to be the same exact videos. The LIXANS Tape is probably going to be told, at least the second episode, and everything afterwards is probably going to be like 45-minute videos, most likely. But there's going to be a lot more symbolism in the LIXANS Tapes, like symbolism, character development, really everything, really all of the essentials and everything that you need for a series, or like really anything along those lines, will be in the LIXANS Tapes. And there wasn't any of that in the last files of the Wezzly Tapes. Maybe the argument tape, but even then, most of that we already knew. Or at least, like, if you knew about the book. Which, speaking of the book, I'm also writing like a novel book kind of thing. I haven't started it, but I did write like a 50-page book a little while ago, basically like the rough draft for the final draft, which I'm going to be hopefully working on pretty soon. And it's basically just going to tell the entire story in novel form. Not like this happened. It's going to be like this guy walked to the store and said this, instead of, it's basically just going to be in POVs of characters, and it's not going to be in third person the entire time. Maybe every now and then there'll be a little description, but still, it'll be essentially just entirely POV. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the cartoons of Wezzly. Right now, I'm working on a cartoon. Well, God, I'm working on like 5 cartoons. It's not good.
It's not good.
But I'm working on a lot of cartoons for Wezzly, and I imagine that Fight or Flight is definitely going to be finished this year, as long as I can like consistently work on it. But I'm working on remakes of past cartoons, so it's basically just going to be the old cartoon, but it's remastered, better animation, it's going to be longer, it's going to be more extended. And yeah, the main cartoon that I wanted to talk about though was Fight or Flight. Now, some of my Wezzly fans, if they're out there, some of the people who watch me for Wezzly are probably wondering not only what happened to Wezzly, but what happened to Fight or Flight. Because Fight or Flight was supposed to be this big, crazy cartoon. It was going to be like the length of an actual cartoon. It was going to be like 6 or 7 minutes long. And yeah, they're probably wondering where it is. And trust me, it's in the works right now. It's like 4 minutes long right now, so you really don't have that much to work on. But it's still a lot of work to just animate, to just put myself through that. Which I ain't saying that I don't like animating or anything. I love animating. I think it's awesome. I think it's fun. But every now and then it can get a little tedious. Like with the LIXANS tapes, it got so tedious. It felt like a chore animating for the LIXANS tapes. Mostly drawing for the LIXANS tapes. Like animating wasn't that hard. Animating was pretty fun for the LIXANS tapes, but still like putting myself through that and saying, putting my foot down and saying, yeah, I'm gonna animate. It was always hard to do that. I always like procrastinated so much with animating really anything. That's why I haven't even opened Flip a Clip or opened Pencil 2D or anything in so long. Sometimes my friends, mostly Ray, ask when there's going to be a next cartoon or if I'm working on anything Wezzly Cartoon related. And usually I say no, but they do know right now that I'm working on a cartoon right now called Home Invasion. It's a remaster of an old cartoon with the same name, and the old cartoon was really bad. I don't even know if I have the footage anymore. I can probably check one of my old computers. I highly doubt that it's not out there somewhere. It's probably on one of my old phones, honestly, but I don't know if I really want to search for any of my old phones at all. So, speaking of cartoons, I had I had this like series show idea about, it was called the Rodger McWhite Show, and people might know what it's about, but it is officially canceled. I don't plan on working on that anymore. It's gone. Like you're not gonna see it anytime soon. I might reference it, but like nobody's gonna get the reference, so I might not even do that. But it was basically gonna be rabbit habits. I know for a fact that no one watching this video knows what rabbit habits is, but it was basically like an old like series attempt that I made for fun, and it was essentially just gonna be really edgy. It was gonna be a bunch of these really small, colorful rabbits swearing each other out, cussing each other out, saying really vulgar, offensive things, and I don't think that's a good idea, especially with how seriously I plan to take my career in the future. I just genuinely don't think that would be a good idea, and I honestly just really don't want to think about rabbit habits. I might make a rabbit habits kind of spin-off after I'm done with all my Wezzly stuff, but that if I had an estimated time to be done with everything Wezzly related that I've already started, I'd say probably 2027. Like realistically 2027. Realistically. It sucks to say that, but realistically it's probably 2027 that I'm going to get everything that I want Wezzly done, or Wezzly related done. Would probably hit like the ballpark of 2027. Maybe even early 2027 at best. I'd say 2027 at worst. But to be fair, I'm trying to take my time and stuff so I don't get too stressed out about everything, and I honestly think that's a pretty good idea. Speaking of Wezzly Cartoons and all of that, some people might know about the Wezzly Movie. Now, I've made like 3 scripts for the Wezzly Movie. The Wezzly Movie. In quotations. There's so much that I can talk about the Wezzly Movie, but I genuinely don't think that's gonna happen, ever. Like, I don't think that I can put myself through like an hour's worth of content of straight animation the entire time. Maybe as like an actual project with like actual help from people who care about the project as much as me, which most of the help that I've gotten from past projects and even really projects right now, most of the people don't care about the project as much as I do, and I don't want that. I don't think it's a good idea to just get someone who kind of cares about it, but like whenever I say, hey man, we gotta do this, they're like, I don't know. And I don't want that. And I have a lot of ideas for what a Wezzly movie could be. The main idea that I had for a Wezzly movie was going to be, which probably wouldn't really be a good idea for Wezzly as like a character, really anything, would be like a very political based, war based episode with a lot of action and violence and criminality. Really, I don't think it'd be a good idea to do that, because that's not really what Wezzly is about. Like, you don't look at Wezzly and think that he's just going to be piloting like an airplane or like an airship or like an ocean liner or something. Like, you don't look at Wezzly and say, yeah, I can see that guy driving, I can see that guy as a soldier. Like, it's kind of hard to explain, but you don't look at Wezzly and think that he's just going to be a crazy soldier fighting crime and you get what I mean. But I can probably pull up the script right now. I'm not going to, but it was gonna be or based around that main ballpark of like ocean liners and cannons and action and explosions. I had a vision. It was gonna be really cool, but I don't think it'd be a good idea to make Wezzly, or to like base it off of, theme it around Wezzly. I don't think that'd be a good idea. And like, I don't know how they'd fit into the lore or anything. Not saying that everything Wezzly related needs to be lore related. Like, there's some Wezzly related things out there that aren't lore related. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you right here and say that the dancing cat, or really anything that I made around like 2022, I never thought that it was gonna be as big as it really got. Not saying that it's like viral or anything, but like, Wezzly has definitely gone up in quality, at least quality and quantity, a lot more. Like, the cartoons have gotten better. Wezzly isn't a different character. Like, he still has the same soul that I imagined him to have in 2022. But in 2022, I wasn't thinking, yeah, this is gonna have some big crazy lore. I'm gonna write a whole book about it. I'm gonna make a whole freaking movie, documentary series, everything you can possibly think of. I'm gonna make that for Wezzly. I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't, not that there's actually gonna be like a documentary or anything. I was just making that as an example. But yeah, I mean, I just, it's so crazy to think what Wezzly's like truly become. It's been so long. I mean, it really hasn't been that long, but there's like people out there that like genuinely care about Wezzly and stuff, and I'm so thankful. It's really not that big either, but I'm still really thankful for like the people that care about it and stuff. I think the person that cares about it the most, and the person I'm most thankful for really anything Wezzly related, is probably Ray. Not to put anyone behind anything, but I mean, Ray has truly like Ray was a total random whenever he first commented on one of my videos, and now he's like basically like the co-leader of the friend group that me, Karam, and Ink Station and everyone is in. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it off with Wezzly's future, and like where I imagine me and Wezzly to be in like 30 to 50 years. So me and Ink Station, we essentially planned this. I don't know how long ago we planned this, but we basically planned our futures in like like an hour, maybe. We planned it, but we basically said that whenever we get older, we're gonna like make a business, and we're gonna make commercials, and we're gonna do cartooning and everything whenever we're older, and that's gonna be like our full careers and everything. And Wezzly is definitely gonna be a big part of that. And honestly, I did not imagine me to become this connected with Wezzly and everything in 2022. I don't remember the exact day. I think it was November 28th, 2022 was the day that I first created Wezzly. And the day that I drew him out, I did not think that that it was going to be like a total part of my career and everything. Not at all. And it's honestly so crazy to see how much work and everything has been created of Wezzly. Like, I'm not as reactive about like Wezzly fan art and stuff as I was back then. Like, someone could at me in a YouTube post or something showing off their Wezzly fan art, I'd reply to it. But in real life, I probably wouldn't be like, whoa, holy crap, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I'd probably be like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And I'd comment on it, and not to be rude or anything, but I wouldn't move on. Back then, I would have been so happy. I would have been running around my room, screaming, crying, pissing, shitting, and okay, no,
what the fuck?
Like, seriously, I would be so happy, so glad. Like, every synonym for happy, I would be that if anybody made a fan art of Wezzly in 2022. Or like rabbit habits or something, because I made those around the same time, so I'd probably be focused mostly on those two things around 2022. So if it was really either those two or like any of the characters in Wezzly, whatever, but you know, mainly those, like around that ballpark, mostly those, I would be so happy if people made fan art of those in 2022. I unfortunately didn't get that much recognition in 2022 for Wezzly. I got tons of comments on the Wezzly Cartoon Collection 1919 video or whatever it was called. I think it was called Wezzly Cartoon Collection or Wezzly The Talking Cat. It was like Wezzly The Talking Cat Cartoon Collection 1919 or something. I know Ray went on to the Wayback Machine and put the URL into YouTube, and we saw like what my channel looked like around that time of like 2022, and like around maybe like December or November, something like that. I think I was still in the middle of the like 6th grade school year whenever the Wayback Machine took that like screenshot or like snapshot. I guess it's snapshot, not a screenshot, snapshot. But yeah, around that time I was in like 6th grade, I think. And I mean, man, I would have been so happy if someone made like a Wezzly thing. I might have gotten like one fan art thing for Wezzly. I remember Dude McWhite Cordsworth. I don't want to call him by his real name, but he was really nice, and I'm pretty sure he was pretty supportive about it. I honestly remember really nothing about 2022. Like, if you said what happened on a school day in 2022, I could not tell you. Like, I know a lot of people probably couldn't tell me what they had for dinner last night, but for me, I don't think my memory is very good. My memory is not very good. Is not good. But I honestly couldn't tell you much of what happened around 2022, 2023, 2024. I could probably tell you. Like, that's why I'm kind of hesitant to make a draw my life kind of video or anything, or really any kind of interview. I'd do an interview, like I'm talking about it right now. I'd do an interview, mostly about like the LIXANS Tapes and stuff, because it's so recent. It would have been really cool if I got an interview in 2022, because I would have been able to really tell about so much stuff back then during 2022, but I unfortunately have no interviews of 2022. I don't even think I have any videos of my voice in 2022. So much stuff happened in 2022 and 2023. I mean, honestly, take a drink every time I say 2022.
And fucking rest in peace.
Honestly, I don't really think there's much more that I can talk about. about Wezzly or anything. I think this video was a pretty good idea to kind of self-reflect and everything about Wezzly, but I mainly just made this video for most of my fans that are wanting more Wezzly stuff. Expect more. Like, seriously, expect more. I'm not like hyper fixating over Wezzly or anything, but I'm definitely a lot more caring towards Wezzly right now, and I think it's a really good idea for me to make a bunch of videos and stuff right now, so not only do I not forget later, but I also should just make videos right now so I can pump out a bunch of Wezzly content and not have to worry about it much later. Because like back then I liked Wezzly and everything, but I didn't do anything about it. Like I didn't make that much Wezzly content back then. I think back then in 2022, there it is again. In 2022, I made a bunch of Wezzly content. Matter of fact, Fight or Flight has been in the works since 2022, but I really only started animating, like really drawing it, around like 2023, like late 2023. Around whenever I made the iceberg video is whenever I really started working on it. But yeah. But man, it is just so crazy to see how far Wezzly has come. Not like in popularity or anything, but it is just so crazy. Like there's people that care about Wezzly. There's, God, it's just so crazy to think about me back then, not completely unaware of what was gonna happen. I was so unaware of what was just happening in my life back then. I honestly just kind of yelled at everything and just hoped for the best. Like, school and everything went fine, but whenever it came to YouTube and everything, I didn't exactly make YouTube seriously. Like, I didn't make videos on YouTube seriously. I mean, there's literally one video of me playing Subway Surfers for like 1 hour and commentating on it on the old channel of mine from like 2022. Literally like an hour long of me just commentating on Subway Surfers. I don't even know what the hell I was doing back then. But I mean, hey, you might not get Wezzly content. You might not get a ton of Wezzly content, but you definitely are going to get a lot more animation content and everything. But yeah, this video was definitely a good idea. I definitely think this video was a good idea. I hope that you enjoyed. Oh my god, that was tragic. That was terrible. I guess talking for this long has affected my vocal folds, but yeah, that's really about it. See ya.
Let me get one spicy ramen with boiled eggs and green onions. Now that, and do it fast, I have somewhere to be.